So this is all about cleaning your coffee machine. Now this is a coffee machine for cafe, so what routine, what procedure do you have for taking care of your coffee machine at the end of the day? So the big thing that our engineers will always say to us is that your coffee machine, if it's not cleaned regularly, you will shorten the life of your machine. I'm going to go through a few things on what you should do in your cafe. First thing is your hopper. Pull the stopper so you make sure that there's no beans coming out when you lift the hopper off the grinder. So on this particular one, you just a little slider that you pull out. And then all you do then simply is just lift the hopper up, and hopefully you've got no beans all over the place. And then what you do is simply put that back into your coffee bag. And typically you'd have a bag, like a kilo bag like this, with maybe a resealable strip on it. So simply put the beans back in that bag, seal the bag, and put the bag back in the cupboard, wherever you have it. Remember, you don't put them in the fridge or anything else. Just keep it away from moisture and away from light. Those are the two things. Once you've emptied your coffee hopper, the next thing to do is to wash it. So I don't want to see oily mess all over the inside of your hoppers. This isn't seasoning. This isn't, looking after flavor. You do need to wash that hopper with hot soapy water at the end of every day. Now you can leave the remaining beans inside the grinding part of that hopper if you want to, in the grinder, or you can just run them out. It doesn't matter too much. You can also buy coffee bean shaped little pellets, cleaning pellets. We find they're not really of much use. You could just leave the old beans on the inside there, and then in the morning run those through and warm up your grinder that way. So first thing to do is always empty the hopper, clean it with hot soapy water, and then your grinder's ready to go for the next day. And then it's onto the coffee machine. Well, so this machine is a pretty typical 2-grip coffee machine. Now, some coffee machines have buttons where you can press to automatically do a back flush for you. But a back flush is basically flushing out some of those oils and tastes from the coffee machine. So let me show you what you would do if you're doing that manually. First thing is, of course, you take your portafilters and you've got your basket in the portafilter. And the first thing to do is take that old basket out. And you can see here, this one's really dirty. You can see that. And of course, that oil, that dirt is quite a bad taste. So of course you want to get that clean, and we'll cover cleaning these in a moment. But the first thing you want to do is take your basket out and put a blind basket in. And a blind basket is one basket without a hole on it. Now sometimes you might find that it's hard to get the basket out of the portafilter because it's hot for a start, and also they can be quite tough to get out. What you can do is use the back of another basket to prise that open, or a spoon, something like that. But obviously try not to damage your portafilter. You can also let it cool down a little bit, because obviously if it cools down, it'll contract a little bit and you might have more flexibility. But take the basket out, and this is a blind hopper, and you're putting that straight back into the portafilter like that. And then all you need to do then is put a very small amount of cleaning powder into the blind basket. So around about 3 grams, or a pinch as it might also be known. So your cleaning powder must be for cleaning espresso machines, so try not to use anything else. And you just simply spray a little bit of cleaning powder into the basket, and it's a tiny amount. And of course, please be careful with the cleaning powder. It's very strong stuff. Keep it away from children, animals, all that kind of thing, and store it properly as well. So we have our cleaning powder in our basket. We simply put it into the coffee machine. And of course, what we're trying to do here is we're kind of trying to clear the pipes that are just above the basket. So it's the group head, as it's called, which is this bit here, and that area just above that. So you want to just flush the oils that build up through the day away, so it's nice and clean. Because again, we're trying to avoid that acrid taste that you might get on old coffee oil. And all it does simply is basically when you do the coffee pour, it will obviously try and put water into the basket, and it can't. So it forces the water back into those pipes. And at the end of the shot, when you see it release pressure, it withdraws that soapy water up into the pipes and then releases at the back. And you can actually see that happen at the back of this portafilter. You can see a little spout here, and that's where the machine often just relieves any pressure that has built up. And of course, if that pipe has got soapy water in it, it will clean that for you as well. So it's actually just this area here that is cleaning, just above the group head. And again, that's very important for the longevity of your machine, because those are the things that get blocked and put further pressure on the rest of the coffee machine. So by making sure that those pipes are nice and clear, you get a better taste, and of course, the machine lasts longer. So all you simply do then is a simple step of backflushing. Any button will do. So all you simply want to do is to get it to run for about 5 seconds. And then we're going to count for 5 seconds and repeat 5 times. So all you do is hit a button. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Stop. And then count to 5 again. 2, 3, 4, 5. And do it again. And keep repeating that 5 times so that the coffee machine is just nice and clear with all of that soapy water in there. And you can see as you look through the back here, the soapy water is coming out the back. So it's that little 3-way valve of water where it's just washing out those oils. Okay, so that's the majority of the cleaning done on those pipes. But of course, you still got some of that old solvent there, the old clean stuff. So all you do then is take out the portafilter. And you can see here that you've got soapy water still in the portafilter. Of course, we're going to push that out like that. Just dump it in there. Now, for the next 3 stages, 3 steps, we're just going to put it back in, empty, and run water. And we're doing like a mini rinse. So we've removed any powder from the basket. And now we're simply just going to empty water out of the basket and do that again. So we're going to do that 3 times. And now we've got clear water in here, but there's still bits and pieces in here. So the next stage is just to get a group head cleaning brush, something like this, and run the water, and also just do a clean of the group head like this. Just dislodge any remaining coffee that's there. Okay, like that. Okay. And then the next stage is to take that blind basket out of the machine. There we are. So now we have a basket, but just the portafilter, which by the way is still dirty. I'm going to put that through here without a basket in. So the portafilter goes in without any basket whatsoever. And now I'm just going to do a final kind of rinse where it will now get rid of any remaining dirty water. So I'm just hitting the button. And that's it. So you do that. If you're busy if you're busy once a day if you can. Obviously, everybody's different depending on the size of your cafe, whether you're mobile, whether you're bricks and mortar establishment, but it's so important to keep that nice and clean. All of these little things that you do improve the taste of the coffee, so you're not tasting any burnt coffee anywhere. So if you do that for both sides, then the last few things you need to do are to look after your steam wand. To clean the steam wand, of course, it's very important as well. If you're ever in a cafe, look at the steam wand on the coffee machine to see if it's clean. You shouldn't see milk build up along the steam wand. Some steam wands are good and you've got cleaning functions automatically on them, but here's the manual way of making sure that your steam wand is nice and clean. So no burnt milk. Obviously, it's not a good thing to have burnt milk. So you just simply get your milk jug. You're going to put around about 25 ml of milk cleaning solution into your jug. Try not to use the espresso powder. The milk cleaning solution is a little bit more delicate, so it won't affect any parts on the steam wand. So you simply put your liquid into there, about 25 ml, and simply put your steam wand into the jug like this. Make sure that the steam wand is nice and secure, and then you're simply going to run your steam wand a bit like the back flush, run about 5 times with the liquid in it. So you just do this. 2, 3, 4, 5. Stop. And repeat. And when you're finished, simply remove the steam wand, remove the jug from the steam wand, take that away, and make sure that it's nice and clean that way. And that is it. Again, what I like to do is just one final purge. And then when you're finished doing that, drip tray out and go and fill that and clean it with nice hot soapy water. Of course, you've got your portafilters as well. So all you do there is get your portafilters, put them in a Tupperware dish or a glass bowl and soak them in the same cleaning powder. Put hot water into your container and please make sure that you don't soak the handles of your portafilters. We just leave that to soak. So if you can allow a good 30 minutes, 40 minutes at least, it'll do really well. And that is it. So hope you can do that. Remember, I know it's a bit boring, but cleaning your machine is so important. It makes the machine last much longer. And of course, you have no bad tastes on your coffee as well. So, and of course, in the next morning when you're ready to start up the machine, you've got a nice clean machine. So hope you enjoy.